Okay, so as a reminder, have your notebook and pencil or your paper and pencil, find some quiet space, ask questions, and attend office hours. So if you do have any questions, make sure to go ahead and attend office hours. So let's do a stress check. So in the chat box, I want you to type, how are you feeling today from a 0 to a 10? So let's go ahead and type in either 0 or 10, or I'll actually go ahead and unmute you guys and pause the recording really briefly. All right, let's go ahead and look at our objectives for today. So the objectives for Thursday, April 23rd are to review the parts of a circle, and we're also going to find the circumference of a circle. And I know we talked about last time what a circumference was, but now we're going to actually figure out how to find the circumference using the knowledge from our last session. So let's quickly review our do now. So let's look at question number 1. Which of the following is the arrow pointing to? And remember, the do now is in your Schoology. So let's go ahead and get that done if you haven't already. I noticed that, I think, Ariel, you already submitted yours. And this should be 23rd. I know I have little things I need to correct here. All right, so question 1, which of the following is the arrow pointing to? So go ahead and answer in the chat box. So is it chord, radius, and diameter? And then while you're at it, let's go ahead and also do question number 2. So the length from the center of the circle to the circumference is called, and which of the following is it called? Here, this is what it would look like for you on your do nows. So again, all we're doing right now is listing question number 1, what is your answer? And question number 2, what is your answer? All right, so let's look at question, so we have questions number 1 and 2. Now let's look at the problem for today. So today's word problem is that an architect is making a plan for a circular playground. If the picture below is the playground, how much fencing needs to go up to keep the kids in the circle? So we're looking at the image on the right hand picture of a playground, and notice that the playground is a circular shape, and I went ahead and did the circle around the playground area. So we also have the diagram on the left side where I did that circle. So this is telling us that the diameter of this circle is 64 meters. Okay. So today what we're gonna find out is how much fencing needs to go up to keep the kids in the circle. So if we were doing our 3 read, and today we're not gonna take the time to go each question, I'll try to do that mainly on Tuesdays. So I think from now on Tuesdays, we'll do 3 read and more. But if we do our 3 read, what is this problem about? Problem is about a circular playground and trying to figure out how much fencing is needed. Our second read, the math information they give us is that the diameter is 64 meters. And for our third read, the question that we answer is how much fencing needs to keep the kids in the circle. Let's look at what pi means. Hopefully you covered this at some point, either in middle school, in algebra, where this symbol, and let me go ahead and mark down the symbol. Where is it? Okay, so this symbol, oh, mine as well. Okay. Pi actually represents this super number, and it keeps on going and going and going. Of course, that would take us forever to figure out to memorize, and instead what we do is we represent it as 3.14. So anytime we see pi, we think of 3.14. So for your circumference, this is the formula. So we find circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Okay? So if we look at a circle, remember that the diameter is this. It goes through the center. So it would be circumference is equal to pi represents 3.14, and d is diameter. Okay. Now for the other option is sometimes they'll just give you the radius. Okay, so they'll only give you half of the diameter, which is a radius. So circumference, C equals circumference, 2 times pi, which is 3.14, and then R is radius. As a reminder, anytime you see a number and a variable, meaning a letter put together, that represents multiplication. Remember to let me know if you feel like I am going too fast. I know I try to get through a lot of information in a short amount of time. So if you need me to slow down, please let me know. So let's look at the circumference of a circle. So the information that they give, is this a diameter or a radius? Go ahead and type that into the chat box. So are they giving me the diameter or are they giving me the radius? When we go ahead and do our circumference, we do circumference is equal to pi times diameter. We know that our pi is 3.14 and we multiply that by our diameter. Remember, our diameter, we know that it is 8 centimeters. When we go and plug that in, we get 25.12. I want you guys to see something. Notice that this is the same answer as this. Same answer. Even though they seem like two different problems. Do you guys have any idea why that might be? I know we don't have too much time left, so I do want to review this problem really briefly. So using that information, going back to the problem about the playground,
64.
We're going to go ahead and do C is equal to pi times D. Ariel, for this one, so for this problem, we know that pi is 3.14. Do you think twice or do I leave it as it is?
You don't have to add twice. You just you gotta do 3.14 times 64.
This time, why don't we add it twice?
Because it already gave you the full line, the radius.
Good. It already gave you the full diameter. Really good. And good job trying to use the vocabulary. So they already gave you the full diameter, so you do not have to do it twice. So if we go ahead and multiply 64 times 3.14, we should get 200.96, and this would be meters. So that playground, that fence that goes around the playground would be about 200.96 meters long. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. I just want to review the next steps. So our next steps are that after class today, I'd like for you to complete your due nows, your exit tickets for today, and then there's a homework assignment that's due on Monday, April 27th. And I know, I already saw your due nows, so the exit tickets will be available. Oh no, it probably is available. No, sorry. It's available after class. So I made it where you can't turn in a submission until after class, but your exit assignments will be available, and then I'll put up the due now this weekend for our class on Tuesday. As a reminder, if you have any questions, there's we have office hours Wednesdays and Fridays from 2 to 3. And I wanted to add a little new chunk to this. So something I wanted to add is one slide where we would do a quick game type of thing, and where I'm going to make it where you guys get points every time you come, and if you get the answer, you get a point. At the end, we're going to figure out, well, what the reward is. So if we look at this right here, let me go ahead and